Welcome to the Learning Guild. Today we have gamification for the win and data to prove it. We're going to show you a great time today. We have Katie Kinsella. She is the Learning Solutions Architect at ELB Learning. She helps learning and development professionals create game-based training strategies to educate and engage their audiences. Prior to joining ELB Learning, Katie served as a sales leader and account manager for the industrial business, consumer business, and critical and chronic care group at 3M. Her passion is making this world more accepting and inclusive of all races, genders, religions, and ethnicities. She is being joined by Kristen Noss, Kristen Noss, who will be assisting us. So if you are unable to access the game because of lockdowns on your organization or for whatever else, Kristen is going to play the game for you. And so if you would like to give her some answers to the Jeopardy game, you can change in chat the individual that you would like to talk to. So you can find Kristen and put your response there, and Kristen's going to choose one and select one to play the game. With that, I am going to turn things over to Katie. So Katie, when you're ready, go ahead and share your screen.
Excellent. Okay, I'm not going to share my screen yet. I think
Right.
Kristen's going to. Thank you for that introduction, and thanks everyone for joining. Super excited. I'm going to give you a little explanation about what we're going to do, and I think somebody's going to put the game link in the chat. But as you're signing in, I want to explain a little bit about the purpose of why we're here today. So again, my name is Katie Kinsella. I am with ELB Learning, and one of the products that I focus on is our game-based learning, so our games and gamification. Today, we're going to be running through one of the 11 different game mechanics that we have, that is Jeopardy. Our company is the only company that has the sole licensing rights for Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, so we work directly with Sony to bring you the actual Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune games. All of the games that we have, specifically this one, you all are going to have the experience of playing it with a facilitator-led session. So I will be leading you through the game. All of our different games can be played individual as well. So we will be also setting this game out as a single player link afterwards if you can't get enough of our Jeopardy game and you want to up your score. The main reason that we're playing this game in this fashion is we're going to play the game, and then we're going to go in and we're going to look at all the analytics on the back end. So on the back end, we will be able to look and see why games, right? So my clients typically are coming to us to say, we want to add something that's a bit more engaging. We want more fun. We want something more immersive. We want our learners to feel like they're engaged and playing with some of their colleagues. That's where some of these games come in, but it goes much beyond that, which will be the second part of this session, where we're really starting to get a lot of data behind the why of us playing these games. So is anybody able to put the link in to the chat? Yeah. Let me know if you need me to too. Excellent. Thank you, Kristen. So if you can sign in there as referenced by Karen, we're going to have $100 Amazon gift card for the winner of this game. So this is just to up those odds and get you really kind of with those speedy fingers. I'm going to tell you a few things about this game. Speed matters. This is a fun game. People utilize games for fun categories, work anniversaries, learning the acronyms in a corporate culture, but they also will use them for very heady topics. You know, think DE&I training, sexual harassment training, and you still find that you get some of the results that we'll talk about a little bit later from people playing the game. So if you can, sign into the game. You'll put a little bit of information. If you can, put your accurate email address. That is merely so that we can get the gift card to you if you happen to be the winner of this game. So you'll also see when you're signing in, that's a customizable field that you're signing in. So I could have decided to capture a variety of different things. Maybe I thought there was a benefit of understanding where people were coming from. Maybe I wanted to understand how many learning guilds do we have from Minnesota versus Florida. That's a field I could have added. So when I look at the data, I can start understanding how people are performing. Few other things. the game, there is multiple choice for the answer type, and there is, I believe, 2 text input questions. Both of those spelling matters. Now, that is also a feature when you build the game, you can decide maybe it doesn't matter. As mentioned at my prior company, we had to understand everything about cyanoacrylates. So if I was building that game, I could have made it so that somebody could start writing cyano and it would automatically spell it out for me. Or if I felt it was very important for my learner to really know how to spell that, I could make it so you get it wrong if you have one of those A's, C's, or O's out of order. So just be ready to do quick fingers as you're playing your games. Let's see. All right, we've got about 89 people in. I am going to, are there any major questions immediately in the chat? Otherwise, I'll give it a minute and then we'll get going.
I don't see any questions in
Okay.
chat or Q&A, and this is your last chance because once she launches the game, that's it, people. You could join, but you want to make sure you're available for
One
that
winner,
gift card.
Maria. One winner, chicken dinner. Yep. One person will get it. One of the cool things that I should mention is if you were playing this at a corporate, oh, can you play? Yeah. If you were playing this at a corporate event and people were joining late, you can join late. That's a feature that you can set. The only thing is that you're probably going to be less likely to win, right? If you weren't on it from the beginning of the game. Another thing I'll point out, and then I'll go into the game, is people often say, how long does it take to build games? And really, when you have your content ready, I can build a game like this in less than 30 minutes if I know what my content is going to be on. I typically tell clients, how long do you want them playing? Right? How long do you want them to be in the game? Is this something that we're doing this as a session in front of a classroom? Then maybe I want it to be a little bit longer. Is anything going on?
I just have a quick question I think is important. Does capitalization matter for spelling, and do you have to put the answer as a question?
No. So good, great clarification. Capitalization does not matter. However, and I can tell this might be a competitive bunch because there's like some very like how many prizes and getting granular, and I like it. Capitalization does not matter. What was the other question?
The
The
other
other part,
question, yeah, the other part was
no, you do.
uh
It automatically leads in with what is, who is. So if the question is, what band is, or who is the biggest pop star, it would just be Taylor Swift. You just click that, and I just gave you my opinion. So sorry about that. So, okay, so let's do it. We've got 100 people registered. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. And here I should have the music muted. But here you'll see the Culver City, California set of Jeopardy. We do have the actual music with Sony. It's just sometimes a little bit difficult to hear during a webinar. So here you're going to see that we've got 3 categories across and 3 down because we wanted to be able to make sure that we had time to get to the analytics. So I'm going to go in. Okay, so a lot of people signed in with names, some did initials. Okay, I'm going to go to Becky. Hopefully there's only one Becky on. Oh no, you can't come off mute. I'm going to go Kristen. Where are we going? Give me a category and a dollar amount.
and you're on mute, Kristen, so you need to
Yeah, I
unmute.
was trying to find my unmute button. You know what? After all these years of using Zoom, sometimes it still gets me. I hope I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Since I'm a child of the 80s and I love the 80s, I'm going, Rebecca, you're right. I'm going big. Go hard or go home. 80s and 90s for 600, please.
Excellent. Okay, so what's going to happen is right now I'm going to click on the clue. It's going to come onto your screen. You will be selecting on whatever device you're on. A couple things that I just want to really quickly mention. Everything can be, if you were doing individual, it can be SCORM wrapped, iframed in, web object. Here, obviously, we're playing it live, but go as fast as you can. And here we go. So in 1995, this Major League Football quarterback retired after winning 4 Super Bowls, being named the Super Bowl's most valuable player 3 times and setting a Super Bowl career record for the most passes without an interception. Now, I have a cue. I hope everybody is ready. So click away at what you believe is the right answer. All right, we got a lot of people knowing this right, and I'm getting to see that live. All right, some people don't know.
And just in case, if you can't join and play, you can message Kristen and she'll pick the majority and select that one.
Yeah,
I
and we
cannot
can
run out
always
of
send it
time.
out as a single player too. All right, good. Answers are coming in. Got about 9 people that haven't answered yet. You don't have to answer if you don't want to risk the points. I say it's not real money, so come on, let's do it. All right, now I'm going to show the correct answer. So that was actually kind of half and half. So you have an opportunity in the games to put in some corrective feedback, or if you'd gotten, some of you are probably saying incorrect, it's actually so-and-so. Kristen happened to get it correct. So you've got a little bit of information about Joe Montana for his ability to stay calm at key moments. And for his history of rallying his team for late game deficits. One of the cool things you can also do is I could add additional pages of feedback here. So if we were in a classroom or a Zoom and I really wanted to hound this point home, I could add another slide and we could keep talking about it. All right, Kristen, where are we going?
Let's go back to 5th grade for 400, please.
Love it. All right. Back to 4th grade. Okay, this historical document is comprised of the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. Are we ready?
No.
Here we go. What is the Declaration of Independence, Articles of Confederation, Gettysburg Address, or Bill of Rights? This is either you were like, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was about to make myself sound not very smart. I was going to say if you don't have young kids or you weren't a teacher, but we all should probably know this. All right. Let's see. Most people are getting it correct. Excellent.
Oh, Claire, you are not able to change your answer. Once you commit to an answer, you have committed. I am
It's
sorry.
locked in. What is the Bill of Rights? I know, you know what, Claire? Sometimes if your finger just goes too fast, we've all been there. So there were originally 12 amendments to the Constitution, but the first 2 were never ratified. Amendments 3 through 12 became the Bill of Rights. All right. Where are we going, Kristen?
Movies for 200, please.
Excellent. All right. This 2007 animated film features the culinary adventures of a rat named Remy, who aspires to become a chef in a prestigious Parisian restaurant. It's a delightful tale of following one's dreams. This one has made like a resurgence, I feel like, too. All right. I'm going to show the possible answers. What is Lady and the Tramp, Ratatouille, Eat, Pray, Love, and Pepperonata? Oh my goodness. Everyone is getting it right. This is impressive. All right, we have 8 that aren't answering. That's fine. I'm going to give it one more second. I'm going to close it out. It's okay. I'm not going to call out the person that just got it wrong. We're going to close it out.
You can call me out. That's fine.
Yeah. Was it you? All right. So fun fact, to save time, the artists at Pixar skipped one detail when creating the movie. None of the human characters have any toes. So it's kind of an interesting fact about the movie. So we're learning something as we go. All right. Where are we going, Kristen?
Let's see. Hold on. Jim McAllister said, I'm trying to answer, but I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. Jim, what you want to do is take your mouse and hover it over the potential answers. Each one will kind of shift a little bit when you're hovering over it, and then you can mouse click right on it, and that should choose your answer. Okay, we're going to test it out with this next question. And back to 5th American grade, we go at 2 for 200.
200. It's a good point. Okay. All right. So this is the daily double. So this can be put in the game randomized. So you just take your where that little blue circle is and slide it. There you go, Kristen. Kristen's sliding it over.
I feel like I'm Vanna.
Go all in.
Okay.
Okay.
And remember, once you hit submit, you cannot take it back. You're done. See?
Yep.
There. Great.
Okay. I'm going to give you all about 5 more seconds. to play that put that wager in. So the average wager right now is fairly conservative at $711, although that does depend on how many dollars you actually currently have. So I'm going to close this in 3, 2, 1. All right. This state of matter cannot change shape. What is a solid, a liquid, a gas, or all of the above? All right. A lot of people getting it right. Take that back. Excellent. All right. I'm going to give it one more second and we are going to close it out. So most people got it right. If I was doing a training, this might be an area that I want to spend a little bit more time in. So here you've got corrective feedback. Solids have a fixed shape and fixed volume, which means they don't move to fill a container when they're placed in it. This is because there's not much space between the atoms of solids. All right, back to the board. Kristen, where do you want to go?
There's so much debate with all these wonderful questions. I love these people. It just means that they're engaged, which is amazing.
It's good.
Let's just close out back to American 5th grade, please.
Okay, 600. All right, this is what the little dot above a lowercase I is called in the English alphabet. Might be learning something here. What is a period, a tittle, a dash, or a bit?
And if everybody takes a look as I hover over it, it does change a different color and indicates that you are on that answer.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not seeing the chat. That's great. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Most people got this correct, which I think is interesting. It is a tittle. It's on both the I and the J. And they're, only in the English alphabet, to Kristen's point. Okay. Let's go 80s and 90s for 400. I'm going to pick one. All right. I believe this is a text input. 99% sure. So don't be mad if it's not. The first 24-hour cable news channel was established in 1980 by Ted Turner. There you go. Type spelling matters. Capitalization does not. 15 got it right so far. 1 got it wrong. 37 got it right. Give it a few more seconds. If anyone's looking at the screen, you've got a hint there. All right. Excellent. There you go. So it is CNN upon its launch in 1980. Can you believe that? It makes me feel super old. It's a long time ago, 44 years ago. We'll go back to the board. All right, Kristen, where do you want to
go? Movies for 600, please.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, Julie Allen spelled it all out and got it wrong. So we should probably put it in the back end because you do have the capability to be able to give different wilds of a typed in answer. Yeah. So maybe it's all uppercase, all lowercase, etc.
Yep, we can always change that. Okay, I expect everyone to get this one right because it's pretty good. An iconic scene in this romantic movie featured John Cusack's character holding up a boombox outside his girlfriend's window. Are we ready? It's okay if you don't get it wrong. It's no pressure. 16 Candles, Say Anything, Footloose, or The Breakfast Club. All right, lots of people like it.
I wish I could reach behind and grab the album that is associated with it. It's in my collection right back.
It's one of my first soundtracks. Yes, for sure. Excellent. Okay, we'll give it a couple more seconds. Got a lot of people that aren't weighing in on this one, which is fine. Okay, closing it out. Say Anything. So, if everybody remembers if anyone that got that correctly with the boombox or the raincoat over the puddle, like, come on, this was Say Anything. So
I gave her my heart and she gave me a pen.
Yeah. All right, let's go to movies for 400. All right. In this movie, Jack Nicholson played the role of Colonel Nathan R. Jessup and was famous for the line, "You can't handle the truth." All right, here we go. What is Gettysburg, A Few Good Men, Top Gun, and Memphis Belle? Wow, everyone knows this. Almost everyone.
Don't call them out.
No, no names, no names. They don't even know they got it wrong yet. All right. Okay, I'm going to close out. Just about everybody got this right, actually. So that's impressive. A Few Good Men. So this line was from A Few Good Men, a movie with the star-studded, Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon, Cuba Gooding, and Kiefer Sutherland. One thing that I should have done, and I didn't, anytime during the game, I could have showed you the leaderboard, and I probably should have shown that about halfway through, because now you're just going to be surprised if you're at the top or low. But that is a feature that you could do anytime during the game. So we're going to round this out, and we're going to do 80s and 90s for 200. This is a hard one. The Spice Girls, an English pop girl group, originally went by this name prior to switching their management in 1995. Let's go. What is Touch, Spicy, Sugar Babes, or Dead Disco? This one separates the group, I'm telling you. All right. I wish I could tell somebody to come off mute and sing Spice Girls. I won't, because you can't. Let's see. All right. Okay. Yep. This sticks with the way it typically goes. It's a hard question. You ready? It is Touch. The Spice Girls, originally known as Touch, have been labeled the biggest pop phenomenon of the 1990s due to their international record sales and iconic symbolism. So now what's going to happen is we're going to go back to the board, and you're going to get a chance to look at the leaderboard. So it looks like we've got a lot of people in lockstep right there at the top. We've got Kelly B, Joni. Now, if it comes down in a tie, the scores come in down to the millisecond of speed of which they were answered. So it's a fair game right now. I'm going to dismiss the leaderboard, and we're going to go to our final Jeopardy. So if you don't have money, you can't wager, but you will still be able to answer the final clue. But if you have money, you can wager. So I'm going to wait. We've got about 74 people, 84 people have wagered. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. Go all in. Kelly B's wanting this. Let's see. I'll give it maybe 5 more seconds. Could be that some of the people just don't have money to wager. So let's go to it so that we have time to talk some analytics. I'm going to hide the wager. All right. So this gives us in the games, you can put pictures or videos that are kind of like an indicator about what the clue is going to be about. So I'm not sure if this is kind of getting anybody ready or in the mindset, but we're going to go to the clue text. The lovable ET, spelling matters. It is a text input. The lovable ET in this movie, considered one of the best alien movies of all time, loved this candy. There you go. Type it in. Gotta have those fingers ready. Wow, some of you are speedy.
I'm gonna have to type fast after this.
Yeah. You can't get well, I guess you can because you're a cumulative team. Yeah, it's good. A lot of people getting it right. Impressive. Yeah, we have a lot of people getting it right. I had my son play this game this morning. And he goes, well, that's easy. It's a Butterfinger. And I was like, a Butterfinger?
What movie was he watching?
Oh, no. Let's see. All right. Okay. I am going to show the correct. Now, I want to tell you something. When I show the correct, it's then going to go to the leader. It's going to go to the correct answer, and then it's going to go to the leaderboard. Some of you are going to be like, I didn't use the apostrophe, or I didn't use this. It's okay. Just a game. But then when it goes to the leaderboard, it's going to put the names in order. it sometimes takes a second to refresh. So if you're at the top, just give it 1 second. You might still be at the top, but I just want to give you that warning. So there we go. Reese's Pieces. A lot of you got it right. So then you have your corrective feedback that you're able to add in. Now we're going to go back to the board. So just give it 1 second. Kelly B, you're up there. Kelly B.
Nice.
Kelly B, well done. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Congrats.
And you, I think it was by like 0.01 or 0.02 seconds that, and points that combined. So well done, Kelly B. Excellent. Well, good. So we played that game. I would love if people could just in the chat, put in either or do a reaction on the screen of how that made you feel. If you enjoyed playing a game, if you thought that was a fun way of learning. I know we were doing fun topics, but just curious, good. I'm seeing some chat stressful. Yes. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, we have fun. We were trying to, be at the top of the leaderboard. We were trying to win the game. And that's exactly what my clients that come to me are trying to do. They're trying to find ways to take a lot of these really important topics and put it into the format of a game. But it goes much beyond that, which is what we're going to segue into now. I will ask if there's any questions that I should address before I go into analytics, or if I should go directly in there.
I don't see any questions really right now that can be addressed during the webinar. So go ahead and let's get into the analytics.
Excellent.
Which tool did you use to develop the game? That one I know.
I don't know. I can find out. I don't know. It's all hosted on Amazon Web Services, but I'm not sure the actual CMS. Do you know, Kristen?
No.
I can certainly find that out. It's probably something I should know, but I can certainly find out.
I would like you to answer this question, though. More so a little bit of a naysayer over here. Julie Allen, I'm going to call you out on this one. She's saying this is fine for knowledge-based questions, but I doubt it would work for higher order thinking. Is there anything that you can think of, Katie, from a client perspective, where they utilize Jeopardy for more than what people are thinking possibly is fluff?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, so out of our different 11 game mechanics, all of our games are utilized in a variety of ways, right? Like whether it's scenario-based training processes that you even can put through this, like where this again was fun, but absolutely people are utilizing the games for a variety of different things. We actually have explanation of how the different games are used and what the best topics and approaches are for our different game mechanics. One of the things that I always tell my clients is, whoever made this comment might appreciate a certain kind of game more than another. So I always tell my clients, take your content and put it into the format of a couple different games, because, Kristen might receive one game differently, and I might appreciate a super fast-paced endless jumper game, or somebody might like a branching narrative game. So I would say I would push back a little bit, because we're seeing these games used in a lot of different areas at corporations and organizations, all the way from, new hires all the way to C-suite that are utilizing these games for a variety of topics.
Okay. How about we look at the back end, and I will go off camera and you can take it away.
You bet. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not quite yet.
Okay. Oh, because I forgot to press share.
There we go.
And okay.
I'm out.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So now it's the kind of why behind all of the stuff that we just did, right? So to whoever's point that was, it's one thing to play a game, but why are we doing it? What are we, as the training or the learning department, what are we gathering from the games that we played? Sometimes it is just for fun. Sometimes it actually is to really try to understand topics and areas that we need to do a little bit more training in. So we're going to go over and we're going to look at the analytics. I am not going to show you the analytics from the game that we just played because I want to keep all of you all's data confidential. What I'm doing is we created a same copy of this game and had our colleagues play it internally. And that's the data that I'm going to look at, but it's the exact same game that you all played. So just so you know. So right now you're seeing the back end of the platform. You get a whole lot of robust information, right? So this is your dashboard to understand a lot of general information. How many players have played the game, how long it took them to play the game. It automatically populates to the last 30 days that the game was played. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that to all time. And if you can see here across this bar, I can see that a total of 98 players played this game. I can see that the accuracy was about a 70%. Which is pretty good, actually. I can see that most of the people completed the sessions. Obviously, several of them came in and played multiple times. I can export this to a CSV file. So when I was mentioning earlier, when you signed into the game, if I signed in and I was like, Katie Kinsella from Minnesota in this department, I could look at that information on the back end of the platform at the data and start understanding, hey, how are our employees in Minnesota doing? Or how are this level of our job doing? And all of that. And you can start really slicing and dicing that data and delivering it to different stakeholders. You also can get an idea. So you'll see, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Kristen and I sent this out to our colleagues back in September of 2023. They all played and it kind of declined. So this would be an opportunity. If I built this game and I wanted people to come back and play this game again, I could go in, I could make it a couple changes, change, maybe some of the questions, push it back out and see, hey, what do people remember from back in September, and start getting a lot of really great insights there as well. So again, these are all my colleagues. So I'm not sharing any, data that I can't, but I could go in and I can go and see how people did. So let's say I have an employee that I know played this game and I want to understand how they did on the game. I can click on it. This is Josh, one of my colleagues, and I can see that Josh played this game 3 times. Each time took about 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Again, when everyone was playing this game, it was the exact same game you played, but in a single player format. So we literally dropped the link to a chat into a Slack and everybody played the game. So here I can get some information about Josh. However, I had him log in. I can see the first time Josh got a 50%. He wanted to beat that score, right? So he came back again, he got a 90%, and then he got 100%. There's a lot of different settings that you can do in the games. Like if you're like, hey, I want to make sure everybody gets a minimum of a 70%, you can set that setting. Or if I wanted to say, I only want Josh to play once because I want to see what that score is, you can set that setting as well. And then I can look at my questions. So these are the questions that you all just answered. So I can see Josh struggled with the one about Joe Montana. I can see, the Spice Girls was one that was difficult, and then kind of how he improved as he played the game a few other times. And then I could go look at an aggregate. So all of my colleagues that played this game, I can look at this overall accuracy. And so here I can see all of these questions. This overall accuracy would be a good indicator of what people's knowledge level is. So here, like I said to you all, this 37% on the Spice Girls, that was the most difficult question. That was the one people struggled with the most. So I can pop into there and I can start understanding, which one did people think it was? Almost everybody thought it was Sugar Babes, and then people thought it was Spicy, and then Touch, then Spicy, then did Disco. So this gives me some more information on how this information is being taught or given to my learners. So at that point, if I know that that question is one that was really tricky, I would then have the immediate opportunity to go in and edit that game and go to that actual question. And maybe I change it. Maybe I say, you give a little bit more clue context so that it's a little bit more straightforward, or I add in an image or some more information, or I delete the clue altogether. I save it and push it back out. So there's a lot of information. So one of the this is my favorite part of when I'm demoing and talking to clients, because everyone typically likes the game idea and they like to play games and they like to do all of that with their learners and they know that their learners are having a good time, but it's that next step. It's what are we getting from all of that training? And that's what we get from all that analytic side. And you can dive as deep as you want into that information. I'm going to highlight a couple more things and then I'm going to stop for questions that we might have. So this is obviously the back end of the platform of how you build your games out. It walks you right through how to build all of the games. You're adding in all of your clues. The different game mechanics that we have all look a little bit different, but they all walk you right through how to do it. And then here's your publish tab. So this is one of the things that people ask the most often is, how am I getting these games to our learners? Again, the way you all played is you pulled it out of the chat, signed in and played. The other way that you can do is you can copy this. I could send it to you in an email. We can embed the game or we can SCORM wrap the game. So you can utilize this. We're LMS agnostic. You can use all of this with whatever you're currently using. I'm going to pause and see if we have any specific questions.
I see that Karen just unmuted herself, but I'm not hearing her as of yet.
Okay.
Katie, one of the questions that they're seeing is, Noreen would love to find out about different options to account for accessibility. Do you know if screen readers are able to read that board when you bring the questions up?
I don't know that off the top of my head. I will tell you, in regards to accessibility, it is fully something that our team is working on with different aspects with our different game mechanics. I don't off the top of my head know that answer. Games are tricky with accessibility. Different game mechanics have different things that you can make more accessible. For example, changing certain colors, removing timers, you know, a variety of different things that you can. Certain game mechanics are inherently very difficult to make accessible. But we as a company are doing everything we can to work with the different game mechanics that we can to make them more accessible, which I know that was kind of a non-answer, but we can certainly find out about the screen reader.
So
Wonderful.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So a question did come in. Could this work on a big screen with all participants together in a training room?
100%. So we do that all the time, actually. So these games are used a lot for events and like all hands on deck meetings and corporate events. And literally all we do is I would take that screen and we have a button that you press cast and you literally would put it up on a screen behind you, use an HDMI cable, connect it, and then you turn that game link into a QR code, and everyone in the room we can't even see this, but can take their phone and scan the QR code and log in within the game. Same way you did it just now, just a little bit different, but just in a classroom. And it is a super fun way to do conferences and events and meetings and stuff like that.
So a couple other questions having to do with LMS. So if you publish it to an LMS, how do you get the data from the back end? Question mark.
So you'll still get all of your LMS information. So like whatever you're getting currently, right? Like Katie Kinsella, ELB Learning, completed 80%. Whatever that SCORM information that you're getting, you will just get also all of the stuff that we just talked about.
So does that mean that it pushes the analytics into the LMS from the back end?
Correct. There's like a communication cycle that happens. Now, sometimes what people's next question would be, if we built games and did all of this and then we're a subscription service and then you were no longer a subscriber, that communication is severed between the game and the LMS.
Right. So then is that depending on the LMS also working as an LRS?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So that's good. Any other questions? I am not seeing anything else right now.
I did. When it comes to pricing, Katie, if I'm correct, this is based on how many users you're going to have and then also how many games you have purchased, because there are bundles and other options. So basically, we can't just say, hey, one game is going to cost $9.95 a month or something, but you really actually need to speak to a sales representative for this one.
Yeah. So, and our pricing is published, right? So you all can, see it, but I certainly don't suggest just going to the website. And the reason is it usually is helpful to get a conversation around it, because it's user-based, exactly what Kristen said. But if you're like, we have a department or sales department of 100 people with one author, that's going to be one price, right? But if you're like, we're going to roll it into different divisions of the company, we have different pricing models that can benefit like larger corporations and things, things like that. And again, we're a subscription based, and it's to the learner, the unique learner that's on there. We encourage you to build as many versions of the games as you can, because it's the way our model works. We are not wanting you to just do a Jeopardy game twice a year. We're encouraging you to take the different game mechanics that we have and find ways to lace them in to your training process in a variety of different ways. Friday meetings, sales training, onboarding, manager training. Depending if you have a customer success group, using some of the scenario-based training to get them to learn kind of processes.
Oh, there we go. I was muted. Okay. So did you see any other questions, Kristen? I did not see any other questions, just a few additional comments, but no other questions. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, because we've got a couple more minutes. We've got a little bit more time. So
if you would like to ask some questions. So just so you know, you're going to get a link to the single player game afterwards. So I will be posting that link to the single player game. That's hard to say. With the recording. So it'll be in the online events, or excuse me, in the sponsored library. And you will also have Katie's contact information included in there. So in case, it doesn't occur to you right now, that question or whatever, then you can certainly contact Katie. And then, of course, as her slide says, you can schedule a demo for 14-day trial of the platform and see what you think.
I'd love to add to that. That's we are not going anywhere, right? So if you have questions that come up or things that you want to understand, you absolutely can reach out to me. The trial is great. The trial is unfettered access to the platform, and you've only seen a component of the platform. We have quite a bit more information. I wanted to highlight specifically the analytics behind the things that we were doing today. There's a lot more to the things that we can do within your organization, and you get access to all of that, and you can utilize it as though you're a subscriber at your corporation. So, and it's 14 days. It doesn't start till you start it. You can reach out. I can help you out. We have lots of resources to support you as you get started, because I know you saw a lot of stuff today, but it really, truly is very, very user friendly. The intention of all of the games and things that we built was for learning departments to be able to put out very specific and specialized training to their departments without having to know how to code, without having to, really get behind the scenes and be able to put it out and get all of that data. So that is the goal of everything that we have to offer.
Katie, there was one other question that we missed. It said, wouldn't this be in Lectora since that is an ELB product? Well, I will say that this plays nice in the sandbox with all of our products.
Correct.
So looks like there might be one
it
more
does.
question.
It does. Yeah.
Does it integrate with Storyline 360? Yes, it does.
Yeah. And in fact, that's super common that people are adding it into their courses, after their courses, before their courses, as their courses. There's a variety of different ways that you can go about it. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by when you're thinking about bringing games and game-based in, don't think about it just as a nice to have. bring it in as, as something that really is going to be a part of your training department or your learning and development or your
Now,
group.
that's not to say that if you just want a one-off and you want us to come out on a location to be able to do something like this for your team at an event or what have you, you can hire us to do that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we can create the game for you. We can send somebody out, they can run it, all that good stuff, and then hand you the analytics at the end.
Yep. Very true.
A lot of different ways to get this game at your location.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other comments or questions. I mean, we still have a few minutes here, everyone. So you've got these ladies here to ask their questions. Anything else?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't go a little bit longer. I like hearing
No.
myself talk that long. I'm like, whoa, you're welcome, all of you.
Okay, so here is a question. I see about 11 different types of games currently. Are there plans to add more?
Always. So it's a great question. So I started at ELB Learning 3 years ago and we had 9 games. Uh, and one of those was Wheel of Fortune, and one of those is Noodle that we just launched. They are like the things that are happening on the back end of the platform are amazing. Like somebody meant, the accessibility, utilizing some components of AI, things that we're doing with trivia games to make those even cooler. And the answer is yes, that is something that we are constantly looking at bringing in. We also have translations that translates the hardwired vocab in the games. When I started, there was 4. There's 21 now, 20 or 21. So it's one of the really cool things is we constantly take feedback and learn from our clients on what they want and what, people are, what we're hearing. And that's the direction we go.
Oh, that sounds great. So there was a couple comments here in the chat from some people who would like to see maybe some components, and I'm sure those will be taken into consideration by ELB Learning because they're always creating new things and looking to the community to see what is out there. All right, here is the single player game. So you don't have to wait till after the recording. Great. So Kristen has the single player game there that you're welcome to go ahead and play, maybe show some of your coworkers and get people excited because you'll also be able to hear the Jeopardy music because we muted that for you while we were playing the game because it would be very distracting, but you'll be able to play it totally full Jeopardy mode.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right, so someone says thank you, so that's great. All right, so I'm going to just leave it open. Is there enterprise? Oh, another question. Is there enterprise pricing?
Yeah, and that was kind of my caveat about I love that we put all of our pricing on our website because for a lot of clients, it's perfect. It answers what they need, but we certainly have enterprise pricing with a lot of different companies, and it kind of is at that 20,000 learner break. But it also depends on kind of what you're looking for, right? So that's a conversation that's worth having because we, can make sure that we get you in the right subscription or right thing that's good for you all.
That's great. And the person who asked that question says that they are 10,000 strong. So I'd encourage you to get in contact with Katie
for sure
and discuss what you can do there.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. You're welcome, Carmen. All right. And thank you so much. That was so much fun. I actually played along. I didn't do so well. I wasn't even on the leaderboard, but I didn't try, unfortunately, I was really stumped by a couple of questions. So Kristen, do you by chance have a very handy link to the pricing page that you could post in chat?
Just one moment. I will see if I can quickly find that. So at least everybody has a log of it.
That'd be great. And we'll get that on there because it's right there on their website. You can see. And then, of course, contact Katie or the sales team and, talk about your unique situation. All right. Well, I'm going to just leave it for a few seconds more, but I do not see any other questions. I don't see anything in chat other than awesome session. So I want to thank Katie Kinsella, Kristen Noss, for that great presentation. A lot of fun. I don't get to play too often when I'm hosting these webinars. So for me, it was a treat. I hope it was a treat for you. And I want everyone to have a good rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.